Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel So Little Time, and my name is Karen. So I feel like it's been absolutely ages since I last came on the camera and spoke to you, so I'm really sorry that it's been such a long time, but December has just absolutely flown by and it's been such a busy month. I've just been trying to get everything ready for Christmas, as I'm sure everybody has been. So it's just been one of those months that I haven't had a chance to pick up the camera to do any vlogging. I was intending to participate in Vlogmas again this year, but unfortunately myself, my husband and James and Harry all came down with COVID at the beginning of December, so it just ruled out that completely, because the first sort of week or so would have just been all of us stuck at home, and I was homeschooling again. Although Thomas didn't get it, I still kept him off school because obviously I couldn't go out of the house and take him to school, and it would have meant having my mum coming over to take him to and from school, and we just didn't want to sort of pass any bugs on, you know, because he is in the house with us. But it was really bizarre actually, because my husband actually tested positive when he was feeling really under the weather, and I didn't actually test positive until I was feeling better, because I'd come down with sort of, you know, the cold kind of symptoms the week before, and I tested negative. And I think I probably should have been testing on a daily basis, but I hadn't been, so I had been out and about spreading it willy-nilly, and I didn't even realise. So it was only when he tested positive that I thought, well, maybe I should do a test. But I was actually feeling fine, you know, I was a lot better, but I still came back positive. So we all went off for the PCR and that confirmed it. So we were stuck at home for, I think Simon had to do the full 10-day stint, and then myself and the boys had to just do 5 days because our symptoms were sort of all previous to when we had the positive test. So yeah, I mean, 5 days of homeschooling was enough, I have to say. So, you know, if you can remember at the beginning of this year, we had to do 7 weeks of it, and that was just awful. So 5 days was, yeah, definitely enough, I have to say. So we got through it anyway, but my husband is still feeling pretty rough, I have to say. So he's testing negative now. And he tested himself today because he's got a dentist appointment, but yeah, he's still coughing, and he went to bed last night with honey and lemon, so I know he's not feeling very well still. It's just really horrible, so I really hope that he perks up sometime soon. But yeah, I think it just affects people in different ways, doesn't it? So it does mean that I've not been able to have my booster as yet, because they say that you need to leave it, I think it's 28 days since you had your positive COVID test. So yeah, I won't be able to have mine until January, I don't think. So anyway, I have been really busy during the month of December, and I've really been enjoying watching everybody else's vlogging for Vlogmas, and I've just been having sort of fear of missing out, and these advent calendars have just been amazing. I do have advent calendar envy. I didn't purchase one myself. I missed out on the pink door one, and also I didn't purchase any other ones myself, so I am definitely going to do that next year. And I've been watching Claire, who makes things, and she does her own calendar as well for herself and her family, and I really like that idea, so I'm going to do that for myself next year. I'm going to purchase a few bits throughout the year and save them all up for the end of the year to make my own calendar. And I did actually have a £10 gift voucher from Crafty So-and-so, so I ordered a few little bits that I'm going to be including in my calendar. And I also ordered the advent tape that you make the calendar yourself with, so I'm really excited to receive that. I don't subscribe to the So Hayley Jane boxes, but I obviously had seen some people had been opening them on their videos, and I saw that there was this gorgeous badge. So you'll see that I'm wearing it here because I just absolutely fell in love with it. It's really, really gorgeous. I'll come to the camera so you can see. But it says, I think it says So Christmas on it, and it's obviously in the shape of this lovely sewing machine, and it's a lovely pink colour, so I just had to get my hold of that myself. So I saw that the lady who was selling it had put on her Instagram page that she'd got 10 that she'd done just to sell on her Etsy shop, because she'd made these specifically for the So Hayley Jane boxes. And the lady who makes them is called Liz Harry, and she's on Instagram as Liz Harry Design. I do apologise, my phone is pinging away. I don't usually have the sound on, but I'm expecting the delivery of ladders for my husband, so I need to listen out for that. So yeah, I went onto her Etsy shop and purchased it, and I just absolutely love it. It's really nice. It's quite hefty, so it's got 2 backs on the back, and I only put it on like pinafore dresses and things because I don't want to pierce holes in sort of my more delicate clothes and things like that. So yeah, that was really nice to get hold of one of those. I think I got the last one because she only had 10 that she was selling on the Etsy shop. But do check out her shop, which I will link below, just so you can have a look at what other things she sells as well. There's another noise going on outside. It's the bin men. So I do apologise for that. And the lighting is really weird in here because outside it is dead foggy. So I've got the light on in here, it's just giving an orange glow. Right, so I'm going to share with you basically what I've been getting up to during the month of December. There hasn't been a lot of sewing, it's been more crochet, so I'm afraid there won't be a lot of dressmaking involved in this video. Also as well, obviously I've got the boys off, so you'll probably hear noise in the background of them, and I'm hoping they're not going to come in and disturb me because they are downstairs watching a bit of TV at the minute, so we'll see how we go. So it was their Jolly Jumper Day at school recently, and as usual I didn't have any jumpers for them because the ones that they'd had previously they'd grown out of, and I hadn't had a chance to go to the shop to buy them some new ones. And sometimes I do feel like I really just want to make my own, but I also didn't have time to make a festive jumper as such. So I thought, right, I'm going to see what I can do, and I mustered up something the night before, which I always seem to do things like this last minute. But they've got their old just plain white PE t-shirts, because to be honest they don't really wear jumpers. I mean, they wear their jumper on the way to school, and as soon as they get to school they take it off and then they're just in their polo shirts. So they always wear just shorts and t-shirts throughout the year as well. You know, we bought them lovely nice jogging bottoms and trousers and jumpers and stuff for them, but you can just imagine that they just don't wear them. They just like to wear their shorts and t-shirts all year round. So anyway, I got their old white PE t-shirts and I embellished them with some free motion machine embroidery. So I've got Thomas's here to show you. It's a little bit creased because it's just come out of the wash, but I did a snowman design for him, and I used some Festive fabric that I'd had quite a while ago just to do the scarf. And then this fabric here actually is from an old sofa cover. One of those ones from IKEA, you know, the clip-on ones, I think it's called, something like that. But that fabric has worked really well for numerous projects, I have to say. So what I did was I just sewed that on and free motion machine embroidered it on my sewing machine. I didn't actually have any, I think it's Bondaweb, where you usually stick the applique onto your fabric to do that. So, and that usually stops the fraying. So I did just sew it straight onto the fabric, and I just backed it with a little bit of interfacing just to give it a bit more weight, but it has frayed a lot since I've washed it. I mean, some people quite like that effect, but I do prefer it just to sit a little bit neater. And then for James's, I did a penguin design, and for Harry's, I did a Christmas pudding. So I'll insert a photo of them, of the t-shirts and of the boys wearing their t-shirts, and they absolutely loved those, so they wore those to school, and I think the teachers did admire those, so that was really, really nice. And they have been wearing them since they've been home as well, so it's nice that they do like them, because that's always the risk, isn't it? When you make something for your children, they don't always like it, especially my boys. They've got so fussy as they've got older about what clothes they want to wear and stuff, so I don't make them many things anymore because sometimes they just don't get worn. So I have been doing a very small little bit of dressmaking, and it's actually for my next collaboration with Angela from Devon Thread Tales, and I'll link a card up above to the latest one that we recently did, which was for the Sagebrush top by the Friday Pattern Company. Absolutely love that top. I've been wearing it so much I need to make another. But the next one that we're doing is another Friday Company pattern, and it's the Wilder gown. So Angela's actually making the top version, and I've made the top version in the past, although I didn't use appropriate fabric for it, so I've hardly worn it. But I'm making the dress version, the full-on gown, you know, with the 2 tiers and everything. And I've got this lovely spotty fabric which I got from Minerva, so it's going to be a blog post for them. So I'll show you as far as I've got with it. It's a little bit creased because it's been folded in my work in progress pile, and I really like how it's turning out, but it's quite bold. Look how spotty this is. So it's a really, really big spot fabric, and I've got the basically it all constructed apart from the very bottom tier. So it's got the top section, and then it's got the tier, the first tier basically, and I've made the size small because I just cut straight into my pattern pieces, so I'm not able to use a different size. But the top version, I did find that that came up a little bit small around my hip area, but because this is cut shorter, so when you add the first tier on, I thought it would just be a lot looser, and that is the case actually. Now this fabric is a viscose fabric, which isn't my most favourite fabric to work with, but I spray starched this to death, so it is quite crisp at the minute, so it doesn't have a lot of drape to it right now, so I will have to wash it again after I've finished sewing it up. Now I've tried it on as it is, it fits lovely, but with just having the first tier on, I was actually quite surprised at how short it turned up, because I thought that that was an option, that you could just have the first tier as having it as sort of a knee length dress, but that is not the case at all. It comes halfway up my thigh, and I'm not tall, I'm 5'5", which I think is pretty average, I think. Yeah, I was quite surprised at how short it was. And even so, for the top as well, when I first tried it on without adding the first tier of the skirt on, it was only just underneath my bust. So I used 3/8 of an inch seam allowance for that, because I didn't want to take it up too short. So yeah, it does look really nice on. It is obviously very bold, but I think once the bottom tier is on and I've washed it, I thought that was a snag, then it's not, it's just I think I need to still pull out my gathering stitches on the skirt. But yeah, once I've washed it, I think it will drape a lot better. So you'll see that obviously in the video once I do that with Angela, and I'll take lots of photos and video footage and stuff. But that's been a really nice sew actually, but we have been doing it on an evening, and so gathering in dark fabric hasn't been fun, I have to say. So that was the first little bit of dressmaking that I've been doing. I also have another dress cut out. At the minute it's pinned together. Now this is going to be for my Felicity Fabrics blog, but it won't be up until next year because I've obviously not sewn it yet. But it's in this gorgeous fabric, which is like a really soft, furry backed, I don't know if it's a French terry or a jersey, and it's this lovely green colourway with this lovely pinks and things, flowers on it. And I'm making, I can't remember what the pattern is called, it's a McCall's pattern. I'll put it across the bottom of the screen. I have made it in the past, and I'll insert a photo of what I looked like when I first made that version. But the one that I've made previously was basically for just loungewear around the house, and it does have a curved hem. But with this one, what I've done is actually straightened the hem out at the bottom, so it's just, you know, an A-line sort of style really. And I just thought I might be able to get away with wearing this out and about. So it'll have the hood and the kangaroo pouch on the front, but it'd just be a bit more of an A-line dress. So I'm hoping that I can just sort of style it up with trainers or something, and have it as like just a comfy, cozy dress to go out and about in. If I think it still looks a bit too loungewear for around the house, then I'll keep it as that. But I just found that, especially when I'm at home in the day in the winter, I do get a bit chilly around the house because we don't have the heating on all day. So it's just nice to have something that's a bit cozy and comfy to move about in around the house whilst I'm doing the housework and bits and bobs. So that's in the process at the moment. It's a really lovely pattern actually. There are a few different variations included in the pattern, and it's a really quick and easy make as well. You don't need to use an overlocker for it. You could just do it straight away on your sewing machine, and you wouldn't need to finish the seams or anything like that. But I will do it on my overlocker, just obviously because I've got that option. So that's in process, so that will be done very shortly. I mean, I won't be doing any sewing over Christmas. I'll probably restart it in the new year. I did a little bit more on my Millie dress, which is by Bobbins and Buttons. So this is my denim version. So I've now got the straps on and the band across the top as well. Literally all I've got to do is add the zip at the back, and it's basically finished, and then just hem it. Now what I did with this one is I've made exactly the same size as what I did for my floral one that I made in the summer. But I decided to use 3/8 of an inch seam allowance so that I could wear bulkier tops underneath it, because the one I made in the summer I wore just with a bra on and no top underneath. But this one I thought, you know, I will more likely wear it in the autumn winter sort of time, and so to wear it like with my cocoa tops on underneath and that kind of thing. But I've sewn it up, and I did lose a little bit of weight during December as well. I've probably started to put a little bit more back on now that I've been eating sweet treats and things like that. But I think it's going to be too big, because when I put it on over the top of my clothes the other day, I had such a lot of excess at the back. So I think I might need to unpick the side seams and take it in down the sides, or maybe just use a bigger seam allowance at the back when I put the zip in. So I'm going to have to just see how that goes. Because the seam allowance for this pattern is 5/8 of an inch, so I might just maybe use an inch seam allowance for the when I put the zip in, and that might be enough. So I'll have to see. Now when I showed this dress previously, a lady did comment about the pockets where it showed some white stitching, and she thought that I'd made an error in the way I'd stitched it, but it wasn't actually. It's the pocket lining. So on the inside I've used some polka dot cotton poplin, and it just show on the outside a little bit there, can you see? And I did cut the lining fabric smaller than the pocket piece to make it roll in, but it still is showing, unfortunately. So I think either I need to unpick the pockets and do that again, or I might actually just cheat and use a Sharpie pen just to colour in those little white bits, which is the white polka dots, because I don't think I fancy unpicking all that, because I've top stitched them down and they're within the seam as well, you know. So yeah. But thank you for pointing that out, because I think it's more noticeable on camera than it is actually when I wear it, because the camera seems to pick up little bits like that, you know. But yeah, hey ho, we shall see how it goes once I've finished the dress itself. But I'm excited to get that done because I really want to wear it. But because I've been so busy sort of making Christmas presents this year, I haven't been doing as much sewing as I usually would. So I've been doing quite a bit of Christmas presents this year, handmade Christmas presents. I didn't do any last year because sometimes I do find it takes up a lot of time. But this year I managed to find a few projects that weren't going to take me a long time. So the first gifts I have been sewing are some Snoods and Infinity scarves, which is actually by, let me see, it's Apple Green Cottage. She's on Instagram, and she also has a website which shows you how to make these. So I'll firstly show you a snood that I've made. Now this one is for myself, and it is slightly smaller than the pattern, just purely because I didn't have quite enough fabric, but I actually prefer this fit on me. It's slightly closer around my neck because I do actually have quite a small head. So this is the first one, and this is some lovely cotton jersey that was left over from a project that I made from Felicity Fabrics. And then on the reverse of it, I've just used some, I think it was like sweatshirting fabric, which I got from Minerva quite a long time ago now. And it's basically a rectangle of fabric that you sew right sides together, and then you turn it through an opening and then hand sew the opening down the seam. And it's a really quick make actually, and really quite effective. Now you just pop it on over your head, and you have it just like a collar, I suppose, sticking out of your coat or whatever you're wearing, and it just keeps you nice and warm around your neck. And I had it on actually, I think I was actually wearing this this dress, and yeah, it looks, you know, really nice. I'm not going to put it on now because it would just mess my hair up. But it does really work. It does keep your neck nice and warm, and they're such a quick make as well, and they're just perfect for gifts. So that one I kept for myself because it was slightly smaller, but I've made quite a few with leftover fabrics that I've had, and I don't have that many leftover jersey fabrics. I always tend to use as much of the fabric as possible, you know, when I'm making the garments, so I don't usually have that much left over. But I did actually have quite a lot of this one left over, and if you remember, this was what I made my Lucida dress from, and I have used again the same backing fabric there, and they are fully reversible. So if you wanted to have the plain side, you could have that on display, because when you actually put it on, it does kind of slouch, so you would see, you know, the inside and outside. So I've made that one, and they do kind of roll out a little bit, you know, so you do get to see like the edge a little bit there as well. I suppose if you didn't want that to happen, you could understitch it if you wanted to, but then you would have the stitching on the outside if you reversed it round. But yeah, I really like how these are turned out. Now these are really good scrap busters because the Snoods don't take that much fabric. I can't remember the size now, but there are two different sizes. I think there's one for a child and one for an adult. I think the child's one would fit me perfectly, but this is the adult size, so it is slightly wider than the one I have cut for myself, and I'll show you the difference. So only that much really. But yeah, this one has a bit more of a slouchy effect because it is slightly bigger to go around the neck. But yeah, I really like how those are turned out. So I've done quite a lot for family members, so I've got two the same there, and then I've actually used that green fabric that I'm making that dress with, and that is quite thick because of that fluffy back, and then I've just used a Pontoroma on the other side of that one, just because I thought using a thicker fabric but on both sides it would just be too bulky, I think. So that's that one. And then I've used this fabric that I had used for my sew over it Audrey top, so I really like this colourway, and it goes really nicely with that colour as well. And then I made an infinity scarf, which is by the same lady who designed it, and it's just a lot longer, as you can see. And for this one I've just used the same fabric on both sides, but you could alternate easily. And this is really nice actually because you basically loop it around. I should be able to do this. like this, and you could wear it just, you know, looped around like that, or you basically sort of fold it back round again and go over your head and then maneuver it around as you see fit, you know. And it's really nice to have that sort of scarf around your neck and you've not got any bits that are going to fall out because it's just in a circle. So yeah, I've been making quite a few of those. Now my first attempt, I did use this thicker fabric, which is what I used for the dress, and I used on the back the fluffy fabric, so I turned it inside out and then that side on that one. So I've done the infinity scarf for this one, but because it is really thick, I find that it's actually a really bulky one. So I'm going to keep this one for myself because I was going to gift it to a family member, but I think it is, because it's quite big, I'll keep it for myself and I'll just wear it when I feel like I need an extra cozy layer, when I need to, you know, go out or something, maybe on a snowy day or something like that. So I'm going to keep that one for myself, but that was the first time I had made that. Now onto my crochet makes then. So you've seen these before. These are my crochet wrist warmers, Primrose wrist warmers, I think they're called, by Jane from the Dressmaker's Closet. So this is the blue ones that I'll be giving to my mother-in-law. These are the mustard ones that I'm going to be giving to my sister-in-law, and I have made another pair which have been sent off actually to my auntie along with her present. So she's got a Snood as well, and I did crochet her a sprout. So I've been making some more wrist warmers, and then I've been doing a lot more sprouts. I've been crocheting sprouts willy-nilly. I absolutely love this pattern. So I actually made 4 and sold them to my running buddy Bob. So he wanted some to put in a bowl on his table for like a Christmas decoration. So he bought some off me, and then I've been making some for family members to include in their presents. So these ones are a lot more sort of sprite-like because they're not that vibrant neon green that I'd used on my first go, and I haven't included the cute little cheeks on these because I don't think the cheeks are for everybody. I quite like them, but other people prefer them without. So yeah, I've been doing a lot more of those. So I've done 4 for myself in this sort of colourway, and I have got another 2 to go for family members to include in their presents, just because I think it's quite a cute little Christmas decoration to put on your mantelpiece or something like that. And then I did notice on Instagram that Hobbycraft were putting, I think it was Days of Advent up on Instagram, like of things that you could make. So I've come across this little what do you call them, toadstools. So I made this little toadstool, and I've made 2 of them, and I've put them each side on the fireplace downstairs, so that looks really nice. And I really like that design. Now I used some wool that I'd got free with magazines, so it's really fluffy and scratchy, so it was quite hard to do, but I really quite like how that turned out. So that was just a bit of fun one evening. And then the last things I've been crocheting, which I absolutely love these, and I took inspiration from Claire, who makes things. She's been doing some chocolate orange knitted covers. I think she made Christmas puddings for hers, and she did one for each of her family. And so I decided to have a go, but I did crochet because even though I knit, I do prefer to crochet. I just find it grows quicker, and I find I'm better at it as well, even though I've been knitting for a lot longer. But I found this crochet version of a snowman chocolate orange cover on, I think it was on YouTube. There's a YouTube tutorial which I'll link below, and the lady also has a Instagram channel as well, and she's called Octopudding, so I'll put it across the bottom of the screen for you. But this is one of the crochet snowman covers, and I've not glued the eyes on yet, so I've only cut out 1 set of eyes. So that's my job over the next day or so, is to cut all the eyes out, and it's got this lovely little carrot nose. Yeah, and I love the little pom-pom on the top, and I love the way that it's crocheted where it makes the ribbing around the top of the hat, so it makes it stick out a little bit more. And obviously I've got the chocolate orange in there, and I really like those. So I've made 9. So I've made 1 for each of my boys, 1 for me, 1 for Simon, and then 4 for their cousins, because they're going to be coming to us on Boxing Day. So I've got just a few more colours here to show you. So this is a bit more of a vibrant red compared to that one. It looks orange on the screen, but that's more of a I don't know, would you say that's a Christmas red, or would you say that's a Christmas red? I don't know, but yeah, they're just slightly different reds. And then I've got this lovely pink one, which has actually got a bit of sparkle in it. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. It has got sparkle in it. And then this green one as well. So yeah, I really like how they've turned out. So I just need to do the eyes for them, and then they're done, and I can wrap them. but I really enjoyed making them, and they're dead quick. I think I could do like 2 in an evening. So yeah, that was really nice. So that's basically all I've been getting up to. I don't think there is anything else that I need to share with you, but yeah, I just wanted to come on, just have a chat with you all, just to show my face and wish you all a really Merry Christmas, and I hope you all have a lovely start to the new year. So I'll be back next year vlogging as normal, and I hope to bring you a lot more sort of makes videos, because I have really slacked off with those this year, so really do need to do that. So I'll share as much as possible, but I will continue with my So What's New crafting and sewing update videos and that kind of thing, because I just do find those easier to film, and then I'll try and show my makes more regularly, because I have got quite a lot to share with you now. So hope you've all been keeping really well anyway, and it's been lovely to come on here and chat with you. So really do hope that you enjoy the festive period and whatever you're getting up to, and you spend time with your loved ones, and I'll see you again in the new year. So take care everyone, bye.